It took almost as long as the duration of Tom Brady's original retirement for the Colts to end up with a coach, 36 days. Chris Ballard was asked yesterday whether he felt any pressure because the process of getting that coach hired was taking so long. Here he is.
I mean, I think I told y'all at the end of the season, like this could go into mid-February. We were going to take our time. I never understand what the hurry is. It's about getting it right. And if that meant we needed to interview 50 people, we'd have interviewed 50 people. I mean, you want to get the right person for the job, which we felt we've done. And I know, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't hear the noise, but I don't react to the noise, if that makes sense. You want to get it right. And so whatever pressure was felt externally, we did not feel internally. We had Mr. Irsay and I were on the same page when that season ended in Houston and we had a long visit. When I walked out of the office, we were on the same page of where we were going and how we were going to run this process. And if it took 6 weeks, it took 6 weeks.
And it took 5 weeks and a day. And look, this is a team that 5 years ago, when they were looking for a head coach, thought they had a guy that was hired unofficially during that window from the end of the regular season until the Super Bowl. And Josh McDaniels, right after the Super Bowl, the Tuesday after the Super Bowl, said, no, thank you. They had to mobilize and hire Frank Reich. And, I want to say it worked out. We don't know how it was going to work out because Andrew Luck retired. And that's not a complaint. It's just a fact. I've said time and again, if a guy doesn't want to play in the NFL, he shouldn't play. Every once in a while you hear someone, he quit on his team. Well, if you're not physically, mentally, emotionally ready to play football, you shouldn't play. So the reality is Frank Reich had Andrew Luck for 1 year, and then he got thrust into this revolving door of veteran quarterbacks, and eventually he was out, and now Shane Steichen's in, and we'll see what he can do. And if this works, maybe it is time for something Peter King began to advocate a few years ago. I didn't think it was practical at the time. You pause everything, at least as it relates to interviews, until after the Super Bowl. And you do it then. No team that fires a head coach can even begin the process of interviewing until 2 days ago, the morning after the Super Bowl. And then you have, I don't know, if it takes 6 weeks after that, you got a problem because you're getting into free agency.
Well, yeah.
You'd like to have a coach in place before the combine, coach in place before free agency, but there is something to be said, and I think you and I are on the same page about this. Let the assistant coaches focus on the task at hand, not be distracted by being interviewed during preparation for a playoff game. Wait on everything until the Super Bowl is over. Don't disadvantage the coordinators or other candidates working for the Super Bowl teams. Wait on everything until after the Super Bowl.
I would love that.
It's not going to kill your program if you do it, and maybe some of these teams that would otherwise be inclined to fire a head coach would wait another year.
Right.
Give that guy one more chance because they know if they change coaches, they can't start the interview process until after the Super Bowl.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if the NFL kicked back the whole offseason, like 2 weeks or so. Just kick it all back. Yeah, I would love to see this process play out. I think it would be more fair. It'd be more fair to everybody. The available candidates, the players on the teams with the coaches who are trying to worry about the interviews, and of course the candidates themselves. I would like to see that done. I think that would be a great way to do it. I think it's just better for everyone, and it's going to be a better product on the field, even in the playoffs, for all the viewers as well. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's like we talked about. We joked about it a month ago. What if a player is pending free agent? Hey, I want to go talk to a team on a Friday or a Saturday. I want to go talk to them and just kind of lay the groundwork out for when I'm going to be a free agent in a few weeks. No big deal. It's not a distraction, right, guys? I mean, if a player did that, it'd be insane. And what I would tell you is it's actually less insane for the player to do that than the coach. The player's just got to go out and play. He's already been taught everything for the week. He's done. The coach is the one that's going, wait, details, this, that, I'm worried about things. So, yeah, it's backwards. I'd love to see him kick it all back. Why not? And it would be, I think a better process. And listen, even after the week of the Super Bowl, we talk about the NFL always loving the mastering the calendar. Gosh, it'd be great if we could, here we go, this week, next week, we got to, 10 days of talking about coaching candidates and do that. And, this kind of becomes an NFL dead news time here for the next few weeks. And this certainly would not let that or allow that to happen.
The problem is free agency.
Yeah.
Middle of March.
Yeah.
It's always been the middle of March. Guys want to get paid. They want to get their signing bonuses. There's been talk in the past about doing the draft before free agency. And in the lockout year, 2011, they did the draft. Then free agency came after they got everything resolved. That's something that the players may not be keen on, delaying the payday, even by a month or a week or a few weeks. This is the day every year. This is the window every year when it's time for the players to hit the market and get their contracts and get their money, and you don't want to delay that if you're players. Now, the Combine is still when it always was, even though the Super Bowl is now a week later thanks to the extension of the season by 1 week. You got 2 weeks afterward. We'll be in, is it 2 weeks? It is 2 weeks. What's today? The 15th. We'll be in Indianapolis 2 weeks from today. So not a whole lot of time if you do delay the head coach hiring process. Not a lot of time to interview, not a lot of time to hire, not a lot of time to get things moving. They'd have to come up with some way. And, of course, one of the things we didn't get to last week, at least on the show, D. Smith, the NFLPA executive director, just wants to get rid of the Combine.
Yeah.
Just do pro days, do regional pro days or the local pro days, get rid of the Combine altogether. The problem is the NFL has tried to turn that into a tent pole.
Yeah, I'd like to see the opposite.
Make a bunch of money off of the Combine.
Right.
They're not going to get rid of the scouting combine because it's become an event separate from.
Right. I don't want it to go away.
What's the best way?
Yeah.
I wouldn't care if it did. I mean, I like the fact that we go there and we talk to a bunch of coaches and prospects, but I understand why there are concerns about it and why there's a view that's just kind of a
well, get rid of the pro day. The pro day
not,
is the one that's not necessary. I mean, the day to go, the week to be around all teams and everybody can be lumped together in one spot. That makes more sense, let alone the business side of it and the spectacle over the, oh, wait, I saw you work out for 3 days straight. I met you 3 days straight. We got you naked. We looked at you. We pulled every, limb on your body. We gave you a psychological event. But we got to go see you at your school in 3 weeks one more time just to see if you can run in a straight line any faster. Or did your hips get a little looser? It's actually stupid when you say it out loud. The Combine should be it. It's all you need.
Well, here's the reality, and we're now into that season where significant money and time are being spent on trying to assess everything that can be ascertained about the prospects who are coming in. And then we'll be reminded of how imperfect the entire process is because you still can't have a direct line between effort and money and getting good results. And it is more than just draft. It's draft and develop. I've been trying to make that point as often as I can recently when I do radio spots and people ask me about the draft and why teams have failed. And, we kind of focused on this as it relates to the Patriots and their inability to draft good receivers. It's not just the decisions you make on draft day. It's your ability to develop them, your patience with them, your understanding of what they need to become suitable in the Patriots system, the Patriot way. You're talking about young guys, 20, 21, 22 years old. I think sometimes coaches are too impatient with young players, and that's part of the problem. But the point is, whatever is available to these teams, they're going to take full advantage of it. We'll do scouting combine. We'll do pro day. We'll do private workouts. We'll do whatever we can, bring them to the facility. Anything we can do to gather more information to support these decisions because we have the time and we have the money, and these decisions have too much riding on them to not take advantage of everything. We're kind of getting off track, but it's an important conversation to have because we are in the middle now, not in the middle, but we're on the front end of draft season when all this stuff is going on. And if we do delay the hiring of coaches, we are going to have kind of a weird calendar issue to try to resolve.
Yeah, no, agreed. Agreed. It's big business, and there's a lot to juggle there. And these colleges, they like their pro days. They like the notoriety and everybody coming into town. But, I do think it kind of borders on, overdoing it. We got film every angle to watch you. We've seen you in person during the season with scouts and our GM. Now we're, at a Senior Bowl or whatever. Then it's the combine, but we need to see you one more time on your field so you could sway things your way to give yourself one more, prop. So hopefully that moves, or hopefully it doesn't move. I like the combine. I think it's a great event. I think it's good for the NFL, and I think honestly it's good for the young kids in the NFL as well. Just a good little get.
I don't think it is. Oh, I don't think it is.
Why?
We have to get to it. We're going to have to get to this a different day because I think it's dehumanizing. I do. I think it is. I think it strips away all of their humanity. It turns them into robots. It turns them into guys who get poked and prodded and mistreated from time to time based upon the questioning. We'll have time in the run-up to the Combine to fully debate that. Maybe in Indy we can have a segment about it. We can ask some of the coaches about it. Of course, they love it. They need it. They need it. The coaches and the GMs need it.
You just answered your question.
In order to get
you just
the best
answered it.
possible
You're right. It's
information.
great.
I know.
It's awesome. They need it. Exactly. That's how you make business go. Exactly. We don't have to worry about it at the Combine. We
they
just figured
think they
it out.
need it. Maybe there's other ways to get the information you need without making the players feel like something else.
Oh, gosh. What? They've always felt like that. It's the way they've been the whole life. 8th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 10th grade, 12th grade, 11th grade, 13th grade. It's always that way.
Maybe we
evolve. Big of a deal.
Maybe we evolved treating football players like that. Maybe we move past that as a society. Maybe they shouldn't be yelled and screamed at. I mean, we've had this conversation in the past. When I was in 5th grade, if you were lollygagging out on the field, you got a foot in your ass, and I'm still scarred by it. And it's helped me. I'm very conflicted by that. Knowing that if I stand around too long, coach is going to come kick me in the ass has done more for me than I think anything else. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I never stand still now. I still have in the back of my head, coach is going to come kick me in the ass if I'm standing around, so keep moving. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.